Hello, and I promise I will be very light. I know you had a mass of information today, so it's a promise. It will be light and hope to be fun. And you have to know that I hate presentation, I hate ties, so this is a quick presentation that I will just talk about what we are doing recently in the side of mobile social gaming, which basically anyone who can tell you today what the best solution, he will be lying on you, because it's just recently that we started to think technically, socially inside our games. The approach that I will talk about is a little bit different than the normal approach that everyone is talking about. I'm sure everyone told you about statistics about the importance of social aspect inside any type of technologies today, whether it's mobile or online. Richard Branson, I like this guy because he always tried to do something unique and an approach different than the others. And Richard Branson actually inspired us in the way we approach the social gaming. If no one knows about Richard Branson, he's the Virgin guy. So just a little bit introduction about Maysalward. This is Maysalward team. We are actually based in Jordan. We have been in business since 2003 doing mobile gaming. So actually we were the first in this part of the world, in the Middle East, to do mobile gaming. Our first game was launched in 2004. And we passed through the whole generation of fragmented market technically up to the easy technical market today, delivering on iOS or Android. So we have been basically busy for the 9 years. Recently, we just got our first round of investment from a Turkish investor called Timar, and life is more easier. So I'm not promoting our games, but just I'm showing you our games because to tell the aspect, we were born on the social side. We had a couple of good successes today. We are one of the top leaders on Nokia Store. We have been driving traffics for major GSM operator here since 2004 in our games. We started with what we called the local games, with the casual local games like the card games. And those are social-driven games by nature. So we were born without knowing on the social aspect of the games from day one. And we were driving traffic to operators much better at that time, 2004 up to today, even on the app stores like Nokia, where we had today 1.7 million. That was 1 million, the benchmark that we had last year. And basically, unfortunately, we never honestly thought about the social aspect, even though we went into that until this, let's say, huge talks about the social aspect came through Facebook. We never thought about the social aspect. We continue to do working on our games, casual games. We are live on most of the app stores available actually, and with a couple of operators in the region. As you can see, attraction and engagement to leverage the social gaming. The approach that I want to talk about, there is two sides of this approach actually. There is the, let's say, the traditional approach and the non-traditional approach. The non-traditional approach is what we are doing to the gaming community, how we are involved socially, and that's the important part today. Those are our people. Those are the people we want to engage. What usually happens today in game development, we engage with them later on. So we go and do the engagement after, or we develop the game according to our specs, to what we see socially engaged. What we are doing as Maysalward, we are heavily, since we started with the concept of social, mobile social gaming, involved with the community. And this community, whether developers around us that we are training or helping them to learn about, or community as an end user. And those people are teaching us what does it mean, mobile social gaming. And that's a most important non-traditional way today to integrate. It's not just to integrate a Twitter or Facebook or just think of the best leadership board or scoring board that is engaging, because this is by nature is available there. The game developer that needs today to be socially engaged is to go through different community support. This is an app challenge we are doing in Jordan with schools, with students in schools. So we teach between 14 and 16. And believe me, we had a couple of success recently, small successes on the app stores in markets, difficult markets like Thailand. And that was all inspired by those students, 14 to 16 years old, because we tapped on the social aspect that we never imagined to tap on it, where themselves they helped us in getting this non-traditional way to. We help in running a gaming lab, another way socially to integrate ideas inside of our games. And we even find ourselves bypassing our territory, Jordanian. We went to Palestine last week, and we got involved with another round of people in Palestine in understanding what exactly they need in the game socially. And Palestine, why Palestine? Because we had an experience actually 2 years ago in Iraq. And it was this, we did not manage to measure it correctly like what we did in Palestine right now. In Iraq, we were hitting more download than Saudi Arabia, where, our benchmark in the region is always STC and Saudi Arabia. We had more downloads in Iraq than hitting in Saudi Arabia. And we never thought about the social aspect in the mobile gaming. And when we did our study in Iraq, we found a country with no electricity within the day. The only thing that you can charge is your mobile phone. No entertainment around. People want to socially interact together in something that relates to them. Having a localized game that's relating to them reflected on the number of traffic that we were doing. But at that time, unfortunately, if Facebook was more obvious for us in terms of gaming, we will be, monetizing more on that aspect. Now to the traditional way. We saw the last 1-2 weeks, the news that happened, most of the acquisition M&As that happened around the world happen on all related social aspects of the game. Simplicity in interaction on the social side. Very quick wins, and that's because of the social side. This is why when I started, I said we cannot basically tell you the magic formula today. No one knows. Those are just recent wins that happened recently in our gaming side. Today, between the past, between the present, we should do our calculation. I just want to share this graph. I'm sure most of you saw this graph, but if you see, actually it's a bit, you will see most of, this is a typical gamer. This is how the new gamers looks like. Actually, I like Ziad, my partner, our CMO, always say, you gamers, you look like always, a nerd with glasses, with a pizza around, and pimples on his face, and no social life. Yes, we used to be like this. We are the modified version today of gamers. So the social aspect today, by nature, and there is no trick on it. We, by nature, humans are socially, we are born to be social. Hopefully politically also, but we are born to be social. So basically, today, how to utilize the social in one major side, which is the most important side today, is the distribution and monetization, which is the main focus of game developers today, and there where we are trying to find the equation in building on the natural social side of people. Gamers today the gamers are making it more difficult. More female gamers are jumping, and that's make it a more difficult role for the male-dominant business or male-dominant industry. This is why, again, to talk about social mobile gaming should be more also in the innovation side of the firm. And that's where today there's a huge challenge between technical side of firms and the innovation side of in terms of non-technical side. So now you have a social female gamer is totally different than a male social gamers, and that's where the challenge today happens inside the games. So when I look to the attract I basically don't see most of, colleagues of mine around us, and we can see it a lot today. The retention or the attraction or the building or leveraging comes from you have to integrate Facebook, you have to integrate a leadership board. If you are working game center, you have to do your own. That's typical, used to be there. Today is you have to reach your user before building your game. Those are the users who are going to socially interact with you and leverage your games and towards making what you call the viral distribution. That's the only effective way today. So that's my presentation. I will open it for question. Today, Maysalward, we have around more than 50 games live in different platforms. We generate most of our traffic today is from the Middle East. And markets that we are now active is India, China, and Thailand, I think. That's the top market that we act socially in terms of our interaction inside the games. If you tell me, do we believe? Yes, I can tell you from 2003, the only success we did in games that were built on a mobile social aspect inside the game, before defining it. Defining the mobile, so it's a very new definition that we had just recently. But the only success that we had, and when I say success, there's two types of success. There is a success that you do hundreds and hundreds of downloads that you have in your traffic, and there's the steady success that you will need as a game developer to sustain your operation, and that's where we had on the social side. And thank you very much for being with us until this time. It's tiring. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I'll open the floor for any questions. Any questions on gaming, on monetization?
Anyone is Facebook user? So it's natural to integrate into Facebook. So it's nothing new. Who runs a gaming company? Who runs a service company? Content, value-added service company. Whoever did a relation with the community to train or to see the community what exactly they need in terms of gaming. Anyone did any integration? So we implement whatever we want. We see it correct. And that's, we all heard about the Arab Spring. Arab Spring is what? It's a very simple equation. People is telling us what they need. And today, the power is in the people, in you. And today, to be, frankly, strong and seeing how to grow, and ourselves as Maysalward to grow our company, we saw this power early 2 years ago, and we started to implement ourselves inside the communities, and those people are helping us to do, we did our own spring inside the company, and we changed the whole mentality of implementing the games. So today, having someone who writes the story, in the past there was a structure, someone like a storyteller inside your company, you hire the best storyteller and to write the game, etc. Today, people who is writing your story and they are engaged with you to build your game. Otherwise, there is no way you can do a successful game these days.
Okay, well, let me ask you. I mean, I think a lot of people have heard of Zynga and the success they've made from Facebook games. How is monetization working for you in the Middle East? I mean, you hear a lot of people talk about they're producing things, but they're not getting the returns they're expecting. So, what has been your experience?
We have a long way in monetization because we came from the teleco side. We were monetizing through operators, and actually we just launched with the organizers here a white paper actually about using operators, telcos again in this monetization world. So it's actually on the website, free of charge, a white paper about the telcos' role in monetization, the new role of on the apps. We used to work with telcos. It was a real pain. So we went into a new phase of our life 2 years ago. Ziad, 2 years, a year and a half ago. We tried new ways of monetization. Today, being on the app stores and believing in the freemium model, the only way to monetize is the in-app purchases, and giving people exactly the taste of fun they need in the engagement that you are leveraging through the social mobile gaming. That's the only way today to monetize. So there is no one is paying you for your games. You cannot live on advertising. You can live only on in-app purchases. And recently, just recently, this week, we relaunched one of our success games. And through 2 days, 3 days, we did much better monetization traffic, not downloads, in-app purchase than what we were doing in direct downloads in few days. And we are talking about on iOS, on iPhone, months of launch. So we did in 3 days much better than like 4 or 5 months of direct downloads through in-app purchases.
Okay, interesting.
Through an engagement. There is a social engagement side inside the game.
Right. So you're saying advertising is sort of out the window for you.
It's a good backup.
How much percentage does it generate? Can you share
nothing.
with us?
You cannot generate anything. You cannot live. You can pay your Nescafe bill and coffee and tea. That's fine. that's what the money that will make you. Advertising. And unfortunately, advertising depends on inventory that you can sell and the traffic that you have. Until now in the Middle East, you don't have this mass of traffic that you can sell to advertisers, to people who want. So that's the issue today. It's not because advertising is bad or the apps or the advertising on the apps is bad. You don't have inventory to sell.
Right. Any other questions from the audience? Okay, I think everybody's very tired. Thank you all very much. A big thanks to our speaker.
Thank you.